anyone using paper business cards has experienced that pain of giving someone a paper card and then it being thrown in the trash. We're solving that by creating products, hardware and software products that allow you to share your information instantly with the people you meet and capture their information quickly and then put it right into your CRM.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. Today I'm here with Nick Eischens, COO and co-founder at Popl. How you doing today, Nick?
I'm well, Andrew. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for spending some time with us here on Business Ninjas. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and about Popl.
Yeah, so you introduced me. I'm Nick Eischens. I'm the COO and co-founder of Popl, and Popl is the next generation business card. We're the #1 digital business card platform for teams and individuals. So anyone using paper business cards has experienced that pain of giving someone a paper card and then it being thrown in the trash. We're solving that by creating products, hardware and software products that allow you to share your information instantly with the people you meet and capture their information quickly and then put it right into your CRM.
Excellent. And what's the origin story of Popl? When did you guys get started?
Yeah, so me and my co-founder Jason, we graduated from UCLA in 2019. And after we graduated, Jason was a software engineer at Boeing. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Our backgrounds were Jason's a software engineer and I was a business economics major. We both had entrepreneurial dreams, like we wanted to start our own company and we both had big aspirations, but we didn't really know what to work on. And we were both really social guys as well. So we would go to like networking events, parties, social events every weekend just to meet new people and grow our network. One thing we loved to do was connect with people on Instagram. And that's how we would stay connected, was like, we meet someone really cool, let's follow each other on Instagram. But sure enough, every single event without failure, we would meet someone really cool and just forget to connect with them. It wasn't easy. It didn't flow into the conversation.
Sure.
Meet someone cool, forget to connect with them, you may never see them again. It's like a misconnection. And this really sucked. And then we learned about a technology called NFC, which is the same technology as Apple Pay and Google Pay. And we learned that we could put an NFC tag on the back of a phone to transfer information. So we kind of thought, what if we could put something on the back of our phone and when we tapped it to someone else's phone, immediately share our Instagram with them? That was the first idea. Then Jason, being the super good software engineer he is, comes to me a week later with a prototype that's exactly that. It's like a white sticker on his phone, taps it to my phone, and it goes right to his Instagram. I didn't have to do any typing or anything. And I was like, dude, this is what we've been looking for. This is the product that we've needed our whole lives. And I think this is also a company that we could start together because it's a problem that I think more than us share.
It took them an entire week to come up with a prototype, eh?
Yeah.
And so what year was that? When did Popl come into existence?
That was like 6 months after we graduated in 2019.
Hey, talk about putting your diploma to good use quickly.
Yeah.
I'm sure your parents were pretty happy about their bills amounting to something quickly, as it were.
Yeah. Well, it took a few months to like actually get off the ground and prove it out. Like I remember I was down to like I had like 2 or 3 months of money left to pay for rent. Mm-hmm. And then my parents were like, we're cutting you off after this. So you got to make something work with it. And sure enough, within those 2 to 3 months, we started making revenue and we could start paying ourselves a very little amount, but I could afford to continue living in LA and continue working on Popl.
And tell me about the growth of Popl at that point.
Yeah. So we started in 2019 and we had a different name. It's called Ripple, RIPPL. And our third partner, Jeremy, we brought him in early on and he was crucial in helping us rename to Popl because we thought Ripple was a name, but there's a cryptocurrency called Ripple. There's a oat milk called Ripple. Like that name has been taken. Yep. So let's go back to the drawing board, come up with a new name. We landed on Popl because a notification pops up when you share your info. It sounds like people and popular. And no one had that name, POPL, and the 4-letter domain is techie. So we grabbed popl.co and relaunched Popl at the beginning of 2020, unknowing that a global pandemic was coming. And at that time, like at the beginning of 2020 was when TikTok was starting to blow up. Everyone was going on TikTok. It was kind of like the Wild West of TikTok. It's a lot different app today than it was back then. But we decided, let's just start posting some videos on TikTok, because Jason and I were pretty social media savvy. We knew how to make content. We knew how to make videos and post them quickly. And we started throwing up some videos on TikTok. And sure enough, our 5th video that we posted went super viral. It had like 80 million views in the span of a week or two. And that
80,
caused us,
I'm sorry, did you just say 80 million?
80 million views organically. We didn't pay $1 to post this. We just threw up a video of, it was like, it took us 15 minutes to film. It was at the gym. It was like a first person point of view. Hey, nice to meet you. Oh, I didn't get your TikTok. And the girl that was walking away is like, yeah, I got you. And taps her phone with her Popl on it to my phone, and it opens right to her TikTok. So we captured that like viral concept in a 10-second video that got us 80 million views, and that caused us to sell out of all of the inventory we had at our apartment at that time. And so that was like an aha moment where we're like, okay, TikTok is kind of a secret growth hack strategy, because we didn't pay any money to post that video, and it only took us like 15 minutes to film. So then we're like, let's lean into this more, and we started posting more on TikTok, and we rode that viral wave for like the rest of the year. And every week we'd post a video that would get millions of views, followed by a big sales day on our website. And that was how we first got off the ground, was using TikTok as our growth hacking strategy.
Nicely done. And progress the story for me from there. Where'd you go from there?
Yeah. So, the demographic on TikTok is not exactly what our demographic is now, and the type of customer we're looking for now. So, in the early days, when we were advertising on TikTok, our products were more focused on the social aspect of connecting. And it was like dating and meeting a cute person out in the wild and sharing your Snapchat with them. And while this was a viral concept and it led to a lot of like sales up front, we studied our users, and we learned that the people that were buying these products, the Popls that we were selling early, weren't using it 6 months later or 3 months later even.
Okay.
They would just buy it because of the cool like wow factor, and then they wouldn't use it anymore because it wasn't really that valuable to them. And so we applied to Y Combinator, because Jeremy, our partner, really was like, let's get into YC. And so we applied, got denied the first time, but they called us back to apply again, and we applied again, and we got in the winter 21 batch, which was like, it was like January through March 2021. We went through Y Combinator, and the biggest thing we learned from them was talk to your customers. And so we started calling our customers, figuring out like what are they using Popl for, what do they like about it. And we were really surprised, because the customers that were using Popl and that were loving us and using us month over month, or sometimes week over week, were not necessarily the people that are on TikTok all the time. It was these professionals that are using Popl in replacement of their business cards. And then we were like, okay, let's take this info and start building our products and our software out more to match this specific customer's needs, the professional business card user.
Yep.
And then we launched Popl Pro, which is our in-app subscription. And we started pivoting from a direct consumer hardware company selling our hardware products to becoming more of a software company. And now we have a B2B software subscription that's growing really quickly called Popl Teams, which is the digital business card management tool for full companies.
Okay.
We're getting into Popl Pro, our subscription, more, while we're still selling hardware products. But where Popl is now, we're kind of like a B2B SaaS company disguised as a D2C hardware company.
Oh, nice pivot, young man. Really?
Thanks.
No, that's the proper way to, you got to be agile in the 21st century, right? You have to be flexible. You can't just take one business model and hope to run for 100 years with it, right? So talk to me about the integration of the business model. Is this something where business cards and information are going right into CRMs and things like that?
Yeah. So we've learned from a lot of customer interviews that a lot of the pain points with business cards are both on the giving and the receiving end. When I give someone a business card, I don't have really any confidence that they're going to save my contact information, because I'm just giving them a piece of paper that they then have manual work to do to type in my information. If I'm like given a business card, if I'm on the receiving end, I have manual work to do. So like, just because there's so much manual work kills the confidence level for business cards.
Sure.
So we've tried to cut out all of that manual work with our product. So if I think I have a Popl card right here. Yeah. This is my Popl card. We
Okay.
call it the last business card you'll ever need. Instead of give this to someone to keep, I tap this to their phone, or they scan a QR code on here.
Yep.
That opens to my digital business card. Once they go there, they can save my contact info directly to their phone. They can connect with me on any of my links, and they can do a quick lead capture form that's auto-filled, so I get their information back. Once I get their info back, they're a lead in Popl. Then we can set it up with our Popl Teams product, that all of those leads that come in to Popl are imported directly into your CRM like Salesforce or HubSpot without any manual data entry.
Nicely done, really. I'd ask what makes you stand out from the competition, but I think you've been giving me the answer in advance of the question, but I'll pose it anyway.
Yeah. During the last, like 2020 and 2021, when we were really viral on TikTok, we introduced the world to digital business cards and tappable business cards. And we saw like dozens of copycats and competitors pop up that were just trying to rip us off. Really, they would just sell the NFC phone tag, and there was a really basic landing page that would go to your link tree, but that was it, and that was like the extent of what most of these copycats product was. So we were like, how do we differentiate ourselves? Because back then it was a lot more similar. Popl was more similar to them. So we decided software is the best differentiator, and the things you can do with the software, like the features, like we have a business card scanner, which is something I don't think anyone else has. If you're given a paper business card, you can take a picture of it in the Popl app, and we turn it into a digital connection immediately. You can give that paper business card back to them. So software is one, and the other one is our customer service. We're teaching a new behavior. Instead of handing out paper, you're now tapping to phones, and there are some intricacies in tapping to phones, making sure you tap it in the right spot, making sure the screen is on so you can tap it and the link pops up. We have to teach this new behavior. So customer service is really important. For when a customer is having difficulties or not using our product correctly, we have to be available to teach them how to use it, or else they're going to churn and go somewhere else. So our commitment to customer service and our software is the biggest differentiators, and why Popl is the number one in the space.
Excellent. And because it's an external NFC, you're leveling the playing field between Android and Apple phones. I assume that it just doesn't matter what you're carrying anymore.
Correct. It is cross compatible, and it must be in order to grow.
That's great. Who are your customers? What sort of size companies or verticals are you working with these days?
Yeah, and it's we have a huge range of customers that it's almost a blessing and a curse, because we'll sign up companies like NBA teams, like the Phoenix Suns and the Charlotte Hornets, for example. Their entire office, their entire organization is using Popl digital business cards instead of paper cards. They're switching over because they wanted to go digital with their cards. So we have NBA teams. We have big real estate firms like Compass, for example. A lot of their brokerages, the agents are switching over to digital cards, which real estate is a huge market. But then there's also like mortgage lenders, there's law firms, there's companies who are going to trade shows. There's companies that go to hundreds of trade shows a year that have big sales organizations, and Popl is plugging in right to them. So we don't have a specific niche yet, and it's tough because a lot of our B2B customers that we're signing up are inbound. They just search for digital cards. They come and they book a demo with us, and we put them in the sales process. But we're still trying to find like the niche, the honeypot target customers to get for us.
Hey, it's not a bad problem to have, that you have too broad an audience for a while, right?
Right. But YC and all the other startup advice is stick with your niche, build one product for one specific customer. And we've kind of gone against the grain on that advice.
Sure, I gotcha. Now, tell me about the value of content marketing. Obviously, you've already made it clear that TikTok was a huge springboard for you. Tell me about the value that content has played in the growth of your company.
Well, now we live in a world where everyone has 10 different social media profiles and they're on their phone for 4 or 5 hours a day minimum. The way to get in front of customers is with content that on the platforms that they're looking on. And so, TikTok content, it looks very different than LinkedIn content, which is different than Twitter and Instagram content. And so like content marketing is extremely important, but it must be specific to the platform that you're marketing it on. Like we would never be able to post our TikTok, our Gen Z style social TikTok videos on LinkedIn and see any uplift from that. That would probably look bad for our brand.
Yep.
So you have to be careful. We've tried a lot of different content strategies, but we've learned that, staying each channel as its specific lane is important, while keeping this umbrella of a brand image and brand style and communication to our customers. It's a fine line from making content specific for the platforms and also keeping a unified brand image.
Well, I'm going to say that your money was well spent at UCLA. Your mind is working just fine these days. Absolutely have to have a constant push of your brand image, but you have to cater to your audience wherever they are. And the fact that you're aware that you have so many different audiences there's a very big difference between a 16-year-old who wants to get somebody else's Twitter account on their phone to a real estate company where somebody needs to have 300 or 400 sales reps. I assume that if you have Popl and you encounter somebody who doesn't, they're taking a picture of your code and you go from there, correct?
Yeah, there's multiple ways to share Popl. Either the coolest way is I tap this card to their phone. They don't have to do anything. That's the power of NFC. I tap this to their phone and they get my digital business card right on their screen. Or some older phones that aren't NFC compatible can scan the QR code, or I have my QR code right here in my Zoom background. But it opens up in a link in their browser with my digital business card with my links on their profile. And so if they click my LinkedIn link, for example, it would open right into the LinkedIn app and that connect button is right in front of them.
I repeat, nicely done. Nicely done. All right, switch gears. What's something you'd like to be celebrating personally and professionally 1 year from now?
Professionally, I'd like to be celebrating the growth of our team, signing up new big customers, maybe partnering with some big trade shows to provide digital business cards for all the attendees. I think that's a really big goal of mine.
Absolutely. Fill a convention center with your cards. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And honestly, personally, probably the same goals. We're really young at Popl. Our team is young. We're really hungry. We put in a lot of hours every week of work. And so, this whole idea of like work-life balance is not really important to us right now. Like I go to the gym, I make sure I have my rest so I can be alert and acute and my best, my most efficient self for working on Popl. But Popl is really all that matters right now for me personally.
Well, I think more than double your age, and that work-life balance is a kind of elusive concept. We're all trying to hone the edges of that and make the scale balance, but it doesn't always work out.
Yeah. The way we see it is if we work really hard, 60, 70-hour weeks while we're still young for the next, we've been doing this for 3 years. So if we do it for 3 more years, after then Popl will maybe be $1 billion company. You put in the work early. The thing is you grind in your 20s, build in your 30s, and chill in your 40s and all.
I didn't get a chance to chill in my 40s, but we'll talk about that some other time. Nick Eischens, tell everyone what your URL is, where they can find Popl, and what social media channels you're using these days.
Yeah, so I actually just deleted Instagram and TikTok off my phone because I thought that was a big time waster. So right now I'm more active on Twitter and LinkedIn. You can connect with me on all my links if you go to my Popl link, which is poppleme.co/Nick. So that's a landing page for all of my links. You can text me on there. You can see me on Twitter, see me on LinkedIn. That's where I like to stay active.
Excellent. Nick Eischens of Popl, thank you for your time today. I wish you and yours all the best, and may your company explode even further so that you get to chill in your 40s.
Thanks so much, Andrew.